Hello, Easy Enough English members. I've decided to shoot today's video mostly because in my 7 years experience working as an English teacher in the Bushiban in Taiwan, I've noticed that this is one of the most prevalent problems that students have with the English language. And once you rectify or fix this mistake, then English will be much more accessible or much easier for you to learn. Okay, that problem is the problem of tense, verb tense in English, right? Now, everybody knows that there are three basic tenses. There's the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. But within those tenses, given the relation of time to the action, those tenses might change a little bit. So first, let's start with past tense. Okay, what we have over here is we have the past tense. Okay, and I have A and I have B. So let's start with A. A is simple past. Now, simple past is what we all know as past tense. Okay, when you add, if it's a regular verb, you add an ed to the end of it. If it's not a regular verb, it's an irregular verb where you have to change the word. So an example of a regular verb is work, which is the verb I use here. An example of an irregular verb is catch. Okay, regular verb add ed, work, worked. Irregular verb catch, you can't say catched. You have to say caught. Now that is an irregular verb because we didn't add ed. Okay. Now, simple past example is I went to work yesterday. Okay. Went is the past tense of go. Okay. Sorry, I said I used work, but I didn't use work. I forgot I used go. Okay. And go is an example of an irregular verb because its past tense is not goed, it's went. Okay. So I used go as my past tense verb, and I said went to work yesterday. Okay. So one thing you notice about this example or this sentence is I have a time phrase, a time that I went to work. When did I go to work? I went to work yesterday. Now, this is a very important thing to remember when talking about some of the other past tense forms. Okay, this is the thing that makes simple past different from other kinds of past tense because we have a specific time. Okay, yesterday. Now you see here A, this is past, this is my timeline. A happened here, and I have a dot with an X through it. Now that dot represents or is supposed to be yesterday. The X is my action, went. Okay, and I drew an arrow to the dot saying that the dot is yesterday. Okay, now that might not make sense, but when I explain B, it'll make more sense. Okay, B is here. Now the second kind of past tense is actually called present perfect tense. Now let me read the example. It is, I have already gone to work. Okay, that's happening here. Now, when you use past tense and present perfect tense, you're talking about something that has already happened. Okay, simple past tense, you need a time when it happened. Present perfect tense is you don't have a time, but the action has already happened. Okay, but you don't know exactly where. Okay, that's why we have I have already gone to work. And you notice I did not draw a dot in my X because there's no time. The X means the action of going to work, have gone to work. Okay, this happened in the past, but I don't tell you exactly when. That is the most important difference between simple past and present perfect tense. Now, this is the affirmative answer, meaning the yes answer. I have already gone to work. If the answer is you didn't go to work, it should be I haven't gone to work yet. Okay? So that's the negative answer. You can think of this as the negative answer, and you can think of this one as the positive answer. Okay? Now, there are many different forms and kinds of present perfect tense. But for the sake of easiness of this video, we will only talk about this one. This particular form of present perfect tense is talking about a completed action. This is the completed action or this is the incomplete action. I have already gone to work is completed, it's finished, but we just don't know exactly when. I haven't gone to work is not completed yet. Okay. Now those are the two past tense that we're going to talk about in this video. The second one, let's talk about present tense. Now I also have two kinds of present tense. We have the simple present and the present progressive. Simple present is just here, C. Now you can't see this very well because I've had to draw. I actually have a dot here in the middle of that X. Okay, remember the dot represents a time in the present. Now simple present tense is usually used to talk about habitual actions or things that happen regularly or every day or on specific days all the time. Okay, so something that you could consider would be brushing your teeth. I brush my teeth in the morning. So your time is in the morning. So you brushed your teeth yesterday morning, you brushed it this morning, and tomorrow morning you will brush your teeth. That is a habitual action or something that occurs or happens regularly. Okay, so see, I have my X here and my dot. So the dot is my time in my example sentence. I go to work Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday is this dot, and the X is the action of going to work. Now you see how we use the verb here. Okay, it's work. I didn't change it. The reason I didn't change this here is because my subject is I. If I'm talking about somebody else, like he or she, I would have to add an S to my verb. He goes to work Monday through Friday, or she goes to work Monday through Friday. Okay, remember, this is the dot is my time and the X is the action. And we're talking about present tense. The other kind of present tense that we have is present progressive tense. Okay, and I've drawn a squiggly line through my X and my action. Okay, and my example is my example sentence is I am working now. Now, present progressive tense is used to talk about what is happening right now at this moment. There is a time phrase, okay, but it's not time as we know it, like Monday in the morning, at 5 o'clock, something like that. No, it's just now, right now, at present, at the moment. Those are the time phrases that we use for present progressive tense, okay? And it's the squiggly line because it's happening right now, okay, in action. Okay? That's what you use present progressive to talk about. Excuse me. Now the last thing we're going to do is, and I'll adjust the camera just a little bit, okay? The last thing we're going to talk about is future tense. Now we have two future tenses as well. We have E and F. E is simple future, which we all know, using the verb will to talk about something that will happen in the future, okay? My example sentence is, I will go to work tomorrow. Now see, you can see again, I have a dot with an X written over it. The dot represents the time, and I've drawn the arrow. That dot is tomorrow, okay? Now, tomorrow is the time when the action will occur, okay? But it hasn't happened yet, so you need to use the word will, okay? The other form of future tense we have is called future progressive tense, right? Now, future progressive tense is represented by this squiggly line too. Now, I didn't draw the squiggly line through this because it's not the same as present progressive when it's happening at the time of the action, right? You use future progressive tense to talk about something you will do at a certain time in the future, okay? Okay, it's just like this. So my example is, I will be working at this time tomorrow. So you're using the future progressive tense to talk about an action a continuous action taking place at a certain time in the future, right? So, and you see in our example, the time isn't very specific. It just says tomorrow. It could be tomorrow. To be more specific, it could be to say tomorrow at what time, okay? Clock time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, or it could be time of day in the morning, afternoon, evening, okay? It's used to talk about doing an action, a continuous action in the future, okay? So this is what I feel is the most important thing for English as second language students to learn, to become very familiar with verb tense. It's extremely important. And in my 7 years experience, like I said, it's one problem that all of my students have had. Okay. okay, is with tense. Okay. Now, there's the video, guys. If you like the video, be sure to leave a comment in the comment section.